Okay. Babu, unmute your camera.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Babu.
Good morning, sir.
For us, it's a good evening. Okay, so we'll move on to the session. Very good evening. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. On behalf of Jaya Group of Institutions, we welcome you all to the webinar on understanding the impact of digital signage and implementation ways. Also, we are pleased to welcome our speaker, Mr. BAABU ARAVIND from Joyce Only Franchising Limited, Canada. Now he has connected from Canada. Now the time in Canada is 6:30 a.m. in the morning. So very good morning, Babu, and we extend you a warm welcome to Babu ARAVIND. And so the digital signage is a subsegment of electronic signage. Digital displays use technologies such as LCD, LED, projection, and e-paper to display digital images, video, web pages, weather data, restaurant menus, or text. They can be found in public places like transportation systems, museums, stadiums, retail stores, hotels, restaurants, and corporate buildings, etc. to provide wayfinding, exhibitions, marketing, and outdoor advertising. They are used as a network of electronic displays that are centrally managed and individually addressable for the display of text, animated, or video messages for advertising, information, entertainment, and merchandising to targeted audiences. So we are going to hear a lot about digital signage from Mr. Babu ARAVIND. So Babu ARAVIND is working on this domain and have vast experience in this particular digital signage, and he has implemented in his organization. So before getting into the session, so you have a regular note. So everyone requested to submit the feedback form at the end, okay, through which the e-certificate is generated. And so the technology used here is purely rely on the strength of the local bandwidth. If you have any audio, video issues, you can click reconnect button. And if there is any technical glitch in our side, we will back in maximum of 30 seconds. So don't leave the room or don't close the window or don't close the browser. And so if you have any query during the presentation, please type them into the chat box and select QA mode so that it's easy for us to identify the question. We will address all your questions at the end. So with this note, it's my honor and privilege to introduce Mr. Babu ARAVIND. Babu ARAVIND working as a web developer and a designer in Joyce Only Franchising Limited, Canada. I had completed a bachelor degree in engineering, so computer science and engineering from Anna University, and a master in computer science specialized in servers, cloud computing, web development technologies, and human interaction behavior from the University of Regina, Canada. From then, he worked in SMC Computer Technologies, Edmonton Movie Club, and then many freelancing services to various clients. He is currently working as a web developer and designer in Joyce Only Franchising Limited, a restaurant-based franchising company which holds 40 plus seafood restaurants across Canada. So with this brief introduction, we will move on to the session. I'm very glad to welcome Mr. Babu ARAVIND to present. Over to you, Babu ARAVIND.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. Hope you all are safe, and thanks for spending your valuable time with us. So the title of this presentation is Understanding the Impact of Digital Signage and Implementation Ways. So on reading this topic, many of us will have the question, so what is that? So what is signage? Signage is nothing but any signs that you come across in any places in our day-to-day life. For example, on this picture, you can see, come on in, we are open. It's a restaurant-based sign, but the thing is, we can find signages in all over the place, hotels, roads, even directions on the road signs, all are called as commonly called as signages. So using the signage, the classic way of signaging is or using banners, pylons, wall mounts, uh, the printed banners all over the country. We can see the posters on the walls and sidewalk signs like the direction to go into some places or shops like that. So the main reason for this sign or signage is to communicate with the people. So using the symbols and the signs, they are using the signs to communicate it. So let's come to the second part of the digital signage. Like we understood, so this is the signage. Now the digital part. On our day-to-day life, we are more using the digital screens nowadays. For example, pretty soon we're gonna use virtual reality VR glasses to play games or to collect the data in many places like scenarios or polls in the malls. Like it's gonna come pretty soon. So, but is it possible that we can skip that without using that digital screens in our life? No, not possible. Because a scenario says that 6 to 11 hours of our average day-to-day life, we are using digital screens, mobile phones, tablets, laptops, monitors, TV screens, etc. So we can't skip or say that I'm not using digital screens. So let's come to the part of digital signage. So what is it then? Digital plus signage. So it is an electronic way of communicating to the people using the symbols and signs. It's also called as dynamic signage. The main important benefit of this digital signage is dynamic. We can change whatever we want at whatever time we can, at any place in the world. The estimated at 18.55 billion in 2018, the revenue generated by this digital signage market, but it's forecasted to rise to 31.71 billion by 2025. Even in our Indian market, it's marked as compound annual growth rate. That's the CAGR, compound annual growth rate of 15.1% in the next 5 years. Like they have calculated approximately 906.65 billion in by 2002. Let's play a video about a quick introduction about what's digital signage.
Digital signage. Simply defined, it means using high-def screens to strategically broadcast advertising or multimedia content in an attention-getting way. You're seeing this emerging technology more and more because no other medium makes it possible to deliver dynamic content at the right location, at the right time for maximum impact. Compared to traditional printed signage, digital signage enables you to reach audiences more effectively and in real time. Using conventional methods, it's almost impossible to make any revisions once the sign is in place. However, with digital signage, you not only disseminate information more quickly and save on printing costs, but you have the ability to update content on the fly, even from an off-site location. Digital signage is exploding in every industry, from retail to corporate lobbies, from hospitals to hotels, from trade shows to schools and university campuses. Why? Because it grabs attention. Whether you want to keep people informed of events and last-minute changes, boost sales and brand loyalty, tailor marketing to a specific audience, or set up emergency messaging. What's really great is that it's become affordable, even for small businesses. How complex it gets depends on several factors.
So you all have watched the video. It's a quick introduction about what is digital signage. As you can see in the pictures, like on our day-to-day life, we may see these digital signages. So the next question comes in. Why digital signage? Digital signage, it's a lift to the commercial environment. On our day-to-day life, our life runs in between commerce. So on the main reason for the commerce, it helps the commerce to lift its boost its sales. The impact of static signs, like the classic way of signages, is becoming less significant. So it's easy to deliver messages that are custom designed to improve the attention of and draw them deeper into the shopping experience. So according to the trends, Info Trends report, the brand awareness because of this digital signage is increased by 47.7%. And it boosted, as I said before, it boosted sales by 30%. So it's easy to convince the customers without telling anything, just to inform them using the graphic designs and converting them as a customer. So the main reason is to get the interaction of the customers. So nowadays, in our airports, they are changing the way of communication. To check in, many of us uses online ways, but the thing is, they have the kiosks set up to check in, or nowadays in many places, even for immigration purposes, they are using digital kiosks. And all over the world, 54% of the restaurants plan to deploy more of this digital signage in the next 2 to 3 years. So what is the key to get the customers? Relevance. The messages that we are displaying on these displays is the main important part. So they can easily relate themselves to these messages, and they will understand that, oh, this is what I want. Even nowadays, Facebook is doing a great job on this, like listening to our conversations and providing the relevant ads according to it. So according to one of the Nielsen study says that 72% of the customer or the respondents said that it's a cool way of displaying information or sharing information to the public. Whenever they wanted something, if we display that information, they don't need to ask anyone. They don't want a conversation with anyone. And the thing is, it's so informative. We can raise awareness. As you can see on the second picture, it's a displayed on a hospital. So it's displaying all the facts or health tips, and also the date and the weather updates on it. As well as you can add the Twitter feeds and uh, the real-time newses you can run across the screens. So by sharing these informations, according to some of the Nelson's study says that 3 to 5% of the customer responds immediately. So we are getting a response from the customer and collecting as revenue. So now comes into we already seen that why digital signage. So, but we need to understand the main scenarios and the benefits of this digital signage, because the world is changing over to the digital field. In the past 10 years, the growth of the field is vast. So let's consider a scenario that, for example, in this scenario, we'll consider we are running a fast food chain or a retail. What is the primary goal for those scenarios? The main thing is showcasing their product. For example, if it's a restaurant chain, they need to showcase their product or inform the customers about their featured or the new product. Or as well as they can inform the customers that what's their value of the company. Like as a video, they can share whatever the fundraising things are they have done, like that, and the services they are offering. For example, if it's a retail thing or a restaurant food chain, they can inform the customers about their franchising opportunities too. So then what is self-help? Because of this digital signage, as I said, we don't need to explain everything in detail or shouting irrelevant messages to the customers when they don't want to hear anything. So they can learn themselves. Customers are free to help themselves to know the information they need. So the clear answer for this is digital signage can grab their attention easily and entertain and inform them and educate them properly. So wait times. Many of the customers think that the waiting on the line is a huge problem. So they think that 84% of the customers said watching digital signages helped them pass the time while they waited. The thing is, for many shoppers, long lines are enough reasons to leave the store. So it's lowering the perceived wait times. Digital signages are lowering it. So create urgency. Using the contents that we are displaying on these digital signages, we can inform the customers and create urgency to purchase the product. For example, we can, using the graphics, the exact graphics that we need to schedule, we can provide them the limited sale, like 50% offer, like that, or else the BOGO deal, buy one get one deal. Many of us might have checked it on the malls or even in the stores, retail stores. So the next question comes in. How much does it cost? I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty expensive. In the last 5 to 6 years, using this digital signages, many new startups were born because of it. As I said before, it's so expensive and complicated. But the situation is very different today. If you are not using the digital signages, you're lagging behind as a business and leading the potential customers back past you. So the cost of this digital signages is around $1,000 to $500 per month for 8-second ad. Just for an 8-second ad, as you can see on the pictures, it's a infrared device on the malls. They can with this displays, so they are offering sale contents and the business conference contents, everything. For running a 8-second ad, they are charging us 1,000 to 500. But the thing also depends on the location. It changes in doubles or triples the cost of the screens. So what's the solution? As I said, the day-to-day life, the situation is very different now. So we can do it ourselves. What's the benefit for us in that? Lowering the cost involved. The static signs are away now. So we need to move ahead on this digital signage. So lowering the cost is a one solution, or the open source. So the key elements, how to achieve the digital signage, how I can use digital signage in a smaller business or like that. So you need a digital display, that's LCD, LED screens, or 4K displays, or projectors, anything, or even tablets and monitors. Nowadays, Windows 10 are providing an option on the system to change it as a kiosk display hardware. Even though displays and digital screens are included in hardwares, separately we can say that we need another component, that's the signage players. There are different kinds of signage players across the market. Androids are the major popular ones, and but the more static, the more rugged ones are the Chrome and the Linux Raspberry Pis. But the thing is, Raspberry Pis are like a tiny computers. Those are all hard to code programming on it in the past 3 to 4 years, but now it's different. So we need another component to like an add-on to the top of the hardwares. So what is it? Content management system. To manage all our contents, like changing it, running it, scheduling it, we need a management system. That's the content management system. And the device management. So for example, if you are not, your store is across all the countries, you need to change the content. You can do that by remote accessing it and making changes dynamically. And the final thing is you need a connectivity. So you need to update the content, right? To update those contents, you need an internet connection, like either Ethernet or Wi-Fi. The main question comes in, if what happens if this internet or Wi-Fi goes off? The signage players will remember the last configuration that you deployed on the device. So the contents, as we come across all the slides, contents can be anything: photos, images, banners, graphics, videos, live feeds like RSS feeds or the Twitter feeds, Instagram photos, and plugins like weather weather updates, date and time, etc. like that. So these are the players. For the past 2 to 3 years, I searched for the good digital signage players, and these are some of the solutions I got. So Chromebox is one of the best ones, and Raspberry Pis, on the other hand, are the I can call it as a beast. So for using the Chrome boxes, like Chrome devices are getting day by day more popular these days. So these are Chrome boxes are like a Chrome-based operating system device. It's majorly run only using the internet. You can store files, but not that much. The storage on the device is pretty less. So what are all the components you need to change these Chrome signage devices into, I mean, the Chrome box into a Chrome signage? You need a Gmail account. That's the enterprise version of the Gmail account. Many of us are currently using Microsoft account or the enterprise version of Gmail on our companies. If you are working profession, either one of it is the one. And the player, the Chrome boxes we need, it's approximately cost 300. It's in Canadian, sorry about that. $300 is approximately $15,000, 15,000 rupees in Indian money. And the Chrome enterprise license, there is a cost involved on this, because to manage all the softwares that I mentioned in the previous slide, the content management system, or to regularly update the operating system on the device, there is a cost involved. That's why they are charging us the enterprise license. That's $50 per year. And the Chrome Sign Builder, to display the contents onto that Chrome box, we need to create contents, right? So to schedule the content and to understand that scenario, to understand the contents that we are providing to the box, Chrome Sign Builder comes in. We'll see a little demo soon. And the Pi Signage, as I said, it's kind of a small beast. You can do many things using it. It's kind of a tiny computer. You can even build servers on your home using this. Raspberry Pi device today that I'm going to use is Pi 2, but the current version they are having is Pi 4. The main drawback on this Pi 2 device is there is no Wi-Fi inbuilt into it. But on the Pi 4 and the Pi 3, they have already embedded into it. And for storing the data, we need a SD card to insert into this device. And next thing is we need a Pi Signage account. Pi Signage is the digital signage provider company. It's an open source company. If you want, you can do that. But as I said, there is a small cost involved. If you don't want to create your own server, they are providing it. So for each device, you need to pay something like 2,500 rupees or 3,000 rupees for a year for one device. And even some of the companies are providing these devices for free, and you need to pay the license for the fee for the whole year. And as I said before, you can install your own virtual private server and run using it. Let's go to the demo now. So first of all, I'm going to share some devices that I'm going to use. This is the Chrome box. It's a Asus brand, and the storage is 32 gigs, 2 gig of RAM. And today I'm going to use a Chrome bit. This is a smaller version of the Chrome box. The main thing is the Chrome box have an Ethernet port, but this one just runs on the Wi-Fi. So let's go to the thing that how it runs. So as I said before, to run this Chrome devices, you need an enterprise version of Gmail account. I'm logging into my work email. So this is the dashboard, admin dashboard. If you have admin privileges on their enterprise version of Gmail, you will see this dashboard. Under this one, you will see devices option. You need to enroll the Chromebox devices so that this account will understand this device. Currently, my account has 38 devices already enrolled into it. So on the left panel, you can see that these are the organizational units that I'm currently configured on this account. So I said before, right, I'm going to use a Chrome bit. So I already created a organization unit for this Chrome bit and moved that device. So the registered device you will see as this. On clicking this one, you will get more information about that enrolled Chrome bit. So you can remotely reboot the device, take a screenshot what's displaying on it, or remotely desktop into it. To manage the device, you can do that. And on the right side, it's displaying all the information about what's the model of the device and the operating system it's running, etc., etc. So, and the second thing I'm gonna need a Chrome sign builder. I'm not gonna explain the settings, everything that I configured. I'm not able to share that information, but if you need more details, I can help you set that up. I have all the configurations you need. So this is the Chrome sign builder. It's a familiar view as a Chrome calendar. If you are familiar with the Chrome calendars, these comes in. So I'm going to create a new schedule now. So you can schedule the contents like from 6:30 to 8:30 like that, 7 to 11 like that. I'm creating a new schedule, for example, like digital signage webinar. And I'm going to use a content. For this seminar, I already stored a content on one of my server, and this is the image. This is the menu board, the signage I'm going to use today. I'm pasting the URL of the image. And here, as I said, we can schedule whatever time we want. I'm not going to go through all the details now. You can even schedule different contents on the same board. I'm going to use just a single one for this demo. And I'm pasting the same URL on this one. Sorry. The top one is for all day. So it's the player gonna display the contents all day long. And the advanced settings, if you are updating a new contents, you need to click automatic URL reload, and it will reload according to the time that we mentioned. I'm not going to do advanced settings now. I'm just showing a show forever option and saving the content. So once it is done, we can just export the content and storing it the place like DS webinar. So the content that I stored is here. That I generated, DS webinar, is generated as a text file. The text file contains the information about the image that I provided, and it's informing the player that needs to load forever to display the contents all day long. So how to upload this content on the Chrome? So this is the device, right, on the backend dashboard of your enterprise Google admin. So under Chrome, there is a section called apps and extensions. Here under kiosks, it's already recognizing the Chrome sign builder. As I said, I already configured it. I'm not going to explain everything. It's a huge list of settings. If you want, I can help you out to set it up. So under the Chrome sign builder, there is a settings called kiosk ones, because we're going to change the display to use it as a kiosk. Under the organizational unit, it's under streets, Chrome device, and Chrome bit. So I'm going to use the same thing, Chrome device and Chrome bit. Here, it has a settings for the Chrome bit. Whatever settings we are uploading here, it will push over to the device. So here I'm going to upload the DS webinar text that we generated. I'm not going to save it. I need to show you something first before that. So as I said, I'm going to use this device today. I have a monitor set up here. I'm going to power up this device first. I already connected it to my home Wi-Fi, and the device is running on the Wi-Fi. I connected the device using the HDMI cable and powered it up. So once all the settings are pushed into the device, it directly changes into a kiosk mode. So this is the image I already used for testing. So now I'm gonna push in that the newly created content I already uploaded, right? So this is the content that we generated. So I'm gonna upload the content and save it. So we already, sorry about the SU. So it's in there. The content is already uploaded. So if your internet is good enough, the device will automatically load the port. Yeah, I already changed the picture, right? So it automatically load that picture. That's how easy it is. It's implemented in the office that I am currently working and across Canada, and working awesome for the last 2 years. Now we'll see the demo of the open source. The Chrome device, it's a little bit expensive, but not as much in the market. This is the another device I'm going to use it for the demo. This is the Raspberry Pi 2. It's it doesn't have the Wi-Fi capability, so I'm going to use Ethernet connection. And I already so for the Pi demo, I'm going to use Pi Signage. This is a free open source softwares for 2 players. It's the subscription for this their content management system is free, and if you are familiar with the Jaya, you can download the code from here, and even they have the code to create your own server, the content management system using that. So they have provided the operating system for the signage. The Raspberry Pi runs on Raspbian OS. It's similar to the Chrome OS. Raspbian OS is, if you're familiar with Linux, Ubuntu, Fedora operating systems, it's similar to that. So I have downloaded this Raspbian OS under the GitHub. They have given the Raspbian OS. I have downloaded it. This is the operating OS image. It's around 4 gig. I already downloaded it and flashed it into the SD card. So to run the Raspberry Pis, we need the operating system to load up in the Pi Signage account will help you out. So I'm using the SD card, already loaded it up. I'm just inserting into the device. And I'm going to connect the Ethernet connection and the HDMI port to the display. I'm just unplugging the Chrome device. The Ethernet connection. The HDMI cable to the device. And from the device to the display. And the power to the Raspberry Pi. So after flashing the SD card, once you power on the Raspberry device, it's gonna run the Raspbian operating system first. Sorry about the delay. It's taking 1 or 2 minutes to load the whole operating system. The beauty of this thing is they already made necessary changes to the operating system. So once you load it onto the SD card, it directly takes you to the kiosk mode. But few years back, Raspberry Pi settings are so much hard to configure. So here now, you're seeing these. This is the player ID. We need to register the ID first on the Pi Signage website. So I already created my account on this Pi Signage. I'm gonna just log into the account. Here on the dashboard, it's now saying that there is no players on this account. So we're gonna just register the players. This is the 16 the player ID I am getting from the screen. That is and I'm assigning it to a, you can, if you are running a huge like a restaurant chain, you can create groups and assign it to that. I'm not going to use it now. I'm leaving it to the time zone that I am currently in. And name of the player, we're going to use just webinar, and location probably Chennai. So it's already registered, and the light arrow is to update the device. If they have any updates to the operating system they provided, this is where it updates the device. So I'm just clicking once. And while it's updating, I'm going to explain something. So assets are the contents that we are uploading it to the device. So we can add currently I'm displaying something like MP4 to display the contents on it. And the player, this is where we need to upload the push the contents into the Pi device. And the settings here, even you can, if you, this is more technical. If you are good with the technical one, you can log into this device using SSH, as well as using this password using the device specific IP address. And also you can deregister at the player here. Sorry to say that my device is updating weird. My device is currently updating. Sorry that I'm gonna change the SD card. It's gonna take time for the seminar. So I'm gonna take power off the device, change the SD card that I have. For a backup reason, I have flashed another SD card. Sorry, it's taking a couple of minutes. Bear with me. So it's displaying the ID. I'm gonna upload the contents onto the ID. Sorry, player. So here is the link to upload the contents. For example, for this purpose, I'm gonna use this. I'm not gonna apply to any categories now. I'm just providing you the basic details of this. I'm gonna register the new player. So the player is registered. I'm gonna apply this menu board to the default groups. That's where we configured our device. So now under the playlist, under the default playlist, I'm gonna choose this content and deploy it to the player. Yeah. So I uploaded this is the device running in. So it uploaded the content into the device. It's running the default settings too because it's checked in. See? So here under the playlist, under default, the system notice is also checked in for 10 seconds. That's why it's showing the player contents too. I'm checking this one off. I'm choosing this image as well as a small video to upload it to the device. Deploy to the default. Sorry about the settings. So I'm going to deploy it. After 10 seconds, it's going to load the second menu board. After another 10 second, the second image, another 10 second, it's going to load the video. You can run whatever contents you want for this. It's just a small TV ad. You can change the content and schedule the time whatever you want. So let's go back to the presentation. Thank you for your valuable time. I hope you guys enjoyed the demo too. If you have questions, yes, I'm ready to give you some details. And if you need some settings and details and help regarding configuring your Raspberry Pi or else for the Chrome devices, I'm always available.
Thank you, Babu. We'll go ahead and take some time for questions now. So participants, if you have any questions, please type on the chat box. And it looks like we have a few questions. The first question would be about the storage. How much storage is there on the media player?
As I said, Raspberry Pi is just a microcontroller device. So you can upload. I'm just using a SD card with 8 gig of RAM. The operating system currently working that I used is 4 gigs. So you can use above 4 gig of RAM storage on the Raspberry Pi, but the storage on the Chrome box, the Chrome bit is so much low, like less than 16 gigs on it. It's embedded, we can't change it. And on the Chrome boxes, you can purchase from 8 gig to 64 gigs storage. It's pretty enough for the contents. If you are loading more and more contents day by day, there are all settings that erase the previous contents on it and upload the new contents so that it won't go like storage full.
Okay. What are the operating system used in the device?
For the Chrome boxes, it's a Google-based. It was manufactured by the device that I'm using. It was manufactured by Asus. That there are several companies like HP, Open. There are several companies. Those devices use Chrome operating system, Chrome OS, and the Raspberry Pi device that I used uses the operating system called Raspbian OS, and they have more devices on the market like Android-based OS operating system, as well as I mentioned before. Nowadays on Windows 10, on the Windows-based Microsoft-based devices, also they are providing an option for that. So it's pretty much in all operating systems now.
Yeah. So, is the digital signage is scalable? It can adapt and grow with the business.
Yeah, it's a good question actually. The yes, it is. It is scalable. Like when we started for this scenario, I need to explain it. On the company that I implemented, we started it as a testing purpose. I just uh, using uh, the old Chrome box sitting on the desk. I rechanged it and repurposed it to use it and tested it on a store. But currently, now we switched to all, and currently we are running 37 devices, the Chromebox devices, and managing it across the country. So yes, it is scalable.
Okay. Can I have a digital signage for a small business? How much I have to spend for this? And
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
yeah, when I use the open source tools, what's the cost cutting maybe when compared to the proprietary?
Um, the cost for the Chrome devices is pretty much high, but for the Raspberry Pis, you can purchase the Raspberry Pis for around 2,000 rupees, 2,000 to 3,000 rupees for per device. So you should consider it. It's not that high when you consider like printing hard papers, posters, and even the shipping charges if you need to ship it to all the stores. So when compared to that, you can change dynamically the contents from anywhere, even from your home. Uh, the for small size based um, businesses, I recommend the Raspberry Pis because it's easy to configure. The Pi Signage is the best solution because before 2 years, I searched for a lot of Pi Signages because my company used Pi Signages first. When I started here, they used Pi Signages. They configured their own servers, but the thing is, it's so complicated, and the device doesn't have the Wi-Fi, right? So it's hard to hardwire in a lot of places. But for the small size industries now, for the if you use Raspberry Pis 4, they have Wi-Fi embedded into it. So if you just flash a SD card and insert into the Raspberry Pi, then it's so easy. But if you want to scale more for two screens, it's for free using Pi Signage websites. It's for free. But if you need more than two, you need to spend $35 per license, I think, for a year. And for the contents, you can create a lot of contents using websites like Canva, Canva. It's a free website where you can use change contents, create contents, edit text, add pictures into it, edit videos like that.
Okay. So whether the content or design is based on the screen size or the design is dynamically adjust with the screen size.
We can say both. Like for certain TVs, for example, like in the restaurant-based industry, 43-inch is the basic TV screens, LED TVs. Uh, but nowadays they are using 4K based TVs. And even they need they are using more than the 43-inch sizes. So for the 43-inch sizes, the basic dimensions are 1980 cross 1080 dimensions. But the thing is, for the 4K, you need to change the dimensions. You need to increase the dimensions double when you go above 43-inch sizes. As well as if you're scheduling the contents like right top, uh, like in the ratio base 2:3, 1:3, like on the basis, it will automatically add up to the dimensions of the TV. If the resolution of the picture and the contents that you are providing is good, it will automatically add up to it.
Okay. So can you brief about the maintenance part as well as the security part? Oh,
Yeah, the main benefit of using the Chrome boxes is the maintenance. The We don't need to worry about any maintenance on the Chrome boxes, because all the maintenance and operating system updates, the company maintains it. We just we just enroll the device and run it and change the contents. The company will take over all the things. Same as with the Pi Signage. If you are using the Pi Signage's own server, they will take care of the Pi operating system updates. Uh, but if you're using your own virtual private server, you need to be more cautious about it. But you need to set some firewalls. You need to set some SSH certificates for the login details, because you need to be more cautious on you need to change the IPs as static, run the IPs as static for each and every devices if you need to remotely change the contents. So it's a little bit problem if you're running your own. But if you're using the Pi or the Chrome based services, that's why we are paying for the licenses. They will take care of everything.
okay. So it looks like we have covered almost all the questions. Babu, is there anything else you want to cover before the wrap up?
Um, I'm almost okay with it. If for due to some reasons I couldn't provide them the settings for the Chrome, because I demoed my own company's account. I don't have my own. So if they need, I can provide them settings
Okay.
and help. Yeah.
Thank you. Now it's a time to conclude our event. Thank you very much, Babu Arvind, for spending your valuable time with your busy schedule. I
Thank
hope
you, sir.
everyone enjoyed the session. And on behalf of Jaya Group of Institutions and all participants, thank you once again, Babu Arvind. At this moment, I place my sincere thanks to our college management and all my the colleagues who rendered their support for conducting this webinar series. Great, thank you everyone. We appreciate you being here. The next schedule is on Monday, 29/6/2020 at 6 p.m. We have a series of schedule for next week. The Monday we have the topic discovering the power of AR, that's augmented reality, and the Tuesday we have mind programming for success. So one is a very interesting session. Mr. Dr. Hussein Basha is going to give you details about the various kind of the technique for success. So he's a consultant psychologist. So I request everyone to join for the Tuesday event. It's not only Tuesday, so it's a very interesting session. And the Wednesday we have why engineers make great designers. So by Mr. Karthikeyan is talking about the various the user experiences and the various designs, how the engineers can make a design for various kind of development. And the Friday we have enterprise transformation, becoming a product-driven organization. It's another interesting session. And the another important interesting session on Saturday, like 4/7/2020, very popular Tamil orator Dr. Parveen Sultana going to talk about Ulluvadellam Uyarvullal. So it's a topic she's going to talk. I request everyone to stay into the skill-based webinar series 6.0. Thank you all for your active participation. Thanks again for joining us today, and we will see you next on Monday at 6 p.m. Thank you, Varandal. Thank you, Babu Aravind. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the participation, guys. Stay safe.